Now they don't sit on the 40 acres on campus grounds. We gather round, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they the talk of the town. Podcast tales of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories, from touchdowns to heartbreakers. We discuss it all, Texas Longhorns glory. There we gather round each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Irish, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams we might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, that's better. Whew, that's just weird. What's up? How you guys doing? It is the Texas Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast with your boy Harish and my boy Tim Wayne. What's up, Tim Wayne? How you doing, man?
I'll just listen to that theme song, man. It never gets old, man. Still sounds so good. So shout out to that song. The 40 Acres is what it's called.
The 40 Acres. Presented by
right?
What's that?
It's called Down at the 40 Acres?
Down at the 40 Acres.
Down at the 40 Acres, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love
but
it.
Yeah, you had a good week, man?
Oh yeah. Good week. No, I'm lying. Somewhat quasi good week. Again, we're all things Longhorns here, but as a Cowboys fan, I feel really doomed right now. We're like a month out. I'm hoping that Jerry Jones doomed.
Doomed. Oh yeah, join.
I'm hoping that Jerry Jones gets it in his mind to draft Longhorn legend Jonathan Brooks. I'm hoping. So the way things are going is,
Oops.
Man, oh, don't throw that up.
I was gonna play a clip. I didn't realize that I couldn't do that, so we'll save it. There's a clip of Chris Ballard that I created for the Colts Horseshoe Mob podcast.
Yep.
And it literally says it's basically a quote of Chris Ballard saying we like what we have.
Oh, okay. Well, we should win with less. So anyway,
oh wait, here it is.
The draft guys, your who does the mock drafts? All the guys that do the mock drafts, your Joel Klatz and all those guys, they're laying out their mock drafts and stuff. And they have Jonathan Brooks going
Cowboys.
I've seen second and third round to the Cowboys. So I'm happy about that. I'm hoping that happens because we could really use a running back.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this yet or not, but Tim, y'all don't have a running back.
Thanks.
But that's okay. Here's the quote. Here's the quote.
But we like the group we have.
That's how Colts fans feel right now.
Listen.
Especially after we got duped for 2 weeks thinking we're getting L'Jarius Sneed, and he ends up going to the Titans over the weekend. And then we found out that the Colts actually offered Danielle Hunter way more money than the Texans did, and he picked the Texans.
Of course. It's a hotter team right now.
Yeah. Still uncertainty at the quarterback positions. And then, of course, he comes out to say, oh, yeah, we went 9-8, and Anthony Richardson didn't play. Oh, shit. Here we go. Anthony Richardson and JT only played 2 snaps together last year, by the way, which is actually crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But anyway, I'm hoping for the Longhorn legend, Jonathan Brooks, to get drafted.
I'm also hoping for a Longhorn legend.
I'm hoping that we get him I'm really hoping that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
I'm hoping the Colts either get 80 or Xavier Worthy because they both fit perfectly, and we need a wide receiver badly. I don't want Brock Bowers. Hot take. I have zero interest in Brock Bowers, although that's where he's being mocked to the Colts by a lot of people.
Why? What's up? What's wrong with Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers can't stay healthy.
I can't.
But anyway,
I can't knock that. Can't knock it.
yeah. You remember the last freak athlete at tight end that is with the that went to the NFL in the first round?
Jermichael Finley?
No, Kyle Pitts 3 years ago. See, you didn't even remember Kyle Pitts was a first round pick. That's how much I don't care about drafting a tight end in the first round. The top 5 tight ends in the league were drafted in the 3rd round and later.
To be fair, Kyle Pitts hadn't had a quarterback since since college, though.
No, I understand that, Tim, but we're going. You're not helping me with my narrative right now. You're trying to be logical, and I'm trying to create a narrative because that's what we like to do around here. We like to create narratives. Well, Captain Obvious is telling me obvious today. What's up, Captain Obvious? It's hard being a Dallas Cowboys fan. I wish Jerry Jones would sell the team. Listen, I hope Jim Irsay retires in the next few years and his daughter takes over because I hear she's a dog, is what I hear, and she goes after stuff. So I have a hot take that Jim Irsay retires in the next 3 years.
That's great.
And they fire Chris Ballard, and his daughter hires a new GM, and Arch Manning goes to the Colts. Just kidding. That's my dream existence.
Start the show, bro. Start the show.
All righty, guys, we've had a good time. That was a good intro. All right. Before we get started, whoops, I've got the wrong stuff up here because I was trying to be funny. All right, as always, we are brought to you by FanBattleSports.com, FanBattleSports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the AFC South, including the dreadful Colts who like what they have, the Mayo-eaten Titans, the Jags who still can't hold the division lead, and the Texans who everybody loves all of a sudden. So that's awesome. FanBattleSports.com. Also, if you're interested in starting your own podcast, go there, fill out the contact us form, let us know. We'll reach out to you, and we'll help you get set up with everything you need. Graphics, accounts that you need to get set up, fanbattlesports.com.
It's interesting what a great quarterback will do. It's interesting.
It's also interesting what a healthy quarterback can do.
That too. Listen, as Longhorn fans, we know this. You know what I'm saying? We know what this is like.
We'll talk about this in our spring ball segment. Speaking of healthy, you know who's looking like a healthy quarterback this year? Quintavious Ewers. We need a soundboard. Ariel, my wife offered to buy me a soundboard the other day. I was like, really?
Why didn't you take it?
Because I'm a nice guy. I don't know. I don't want to have all the. I can't have button presses next to me. That's dangerous. I just be going off on them. But follow us on Twitter. Tim, we are 38 followers, 48 followers from 2,500.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we are 32 followers from 2,500 followers. So if you guys are watching the video, go to our Twitter, X, Twix, whatever you want to call it. Follow us at LH Fan Battle. We are on the road to 2,500 there. And we actually are at 43 YouTube subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing to the YouTube channel.
I think they're finally
we're loving it. We were getting some YouTube comments. Captain Obvious, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Please follow, like, subscribe, comment, all the things. If you want to be on a live show, we love to interact with our crew and our boys, and you guys are our boys. So, and gals, our homies. So follow us on YouTube. And then of course, follow us on TikTok. We are trying to get content up every single day. Follow us on TikTok, Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. All right, Tim, did we pay all the bills?
Yeah.
One thing I want to do, I don't know if you've pulled it up, but I actually haven't pulled it up yet, but we have a bracket challenge going on. I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
Where are we still in the bracket contest? You want to pull that up real quick?
Sure. I've been following it because I've been posting it.
Yeah, so you posted it Monday. I haven't seen anything. Well, I mean, obviously nothing has happened since then, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, depending on who's picked. Well, actually, one game has happened, right? I don't know who.
Well, today, yes, today.
Yes.
I
So
think
let's see what we're at.
Am I wrong?
What?
Is it one more? Isn't it one more game tonight at 9:00?
There's like 3 more games tonight.
Oh.
So UConn is dusting. UConn is dusting San Diego State, right?
Right, which we expected.
82-50. That was close for about 3 minutes, so that was cool. Alabama, North Carolina kicks off in about 10 minutes, or tips off, not kicks off. This UConn team, dude.
Alabama is where I'm, that's where I get a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina being our champion makes me really nervous. But UConn's looking really spicy, dude. They might go back to back, and we probably are not prepared for that. Last year, them winning was like kind of a shocker, but this year they look good. They actually look like
they look really good. First off,
they look the best team in the country.
They look real
good. And it's, you know that big guy for UConn? That's who everybody thought Zach Edey was gonna be.
Yes, exactly.
That's what a 7'4" guy should play like. That guy right there, that guy's a beast. Zach Edey's a little punk. He can play. But actually, he's kind of a big punk.
He can play offense. He can play defense. He gets rebounds. He blocks. Dude.
That's what a 7'4" guy is supposed to do.
Oh my god, the blocks that
it's actually insane to see. It's insane to see.
It's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of fun to watch.
And then the nightcap, we've got a Big 12 team, Iowa State versus Illinois.
Ooh, Illinois. That's
a 2-3 matchup.
Some people have a dark horse that Illinois would win the national championship. Illinois is one of the main, shining teams out of the
shiny stars.
Yeah, because the big outside of Purdue, Illinois has pretty much been there for the most part. They've been pretty dominant over the last year. So,
how far did Illinois go last year?
I don't think they made it. I think maybe they made it to the Sweet 16. I don't want to. Maybe they got to the second round. I think they may have gotten to the second round.
What are we? We're in 2024.
Yes.
So Illinois last year got to the Sweet 16. Oh no, that's this year. Illinois last year got to.
I want to say the second round.
I cannot even see anything here. Holy whoa. Okay, Illinois. That's Indiana. Indiana sucks. You know what? Illinois got knocked out on the first round last year. They lost to Arkansas by 20.
Jesus. All right.
And Evan Carter almost knocked it out of the park, and that didn't happen. By the way, the Rangers finally hung their banners. So shout out to the Rangers. 60 years of existence. Their first World Series. And I'm celebrating like it was the Super Bowl because it was my Super Bowl, Tim.
It was your Super Bowl. Womp womp.
A literal Super Bowl.
Listen.
On the baseball side.
I'm still sour from when, as a kid, this is how I had it, right? The Longhorn fan, right? And for my people that lived in Austin, if you're there and you've been here for a long period of time, especially back in the mid to late 90s, you can all agree with me that this is one of the best times, even though we weren't winning national championships. Okay, so you go down 35, right? You got the stadium to the right. If you're going south on 35, you got the stadium to the right. You got the Drum. You got Texas Stadium. I mean, not Texas. You got Darrell K. Royal Stadium.
Yep.
And then to the left, you had what people fail to realize is that the Texas Rangers have for a couple of years played baseball in Austin, Texas. And people don't remember that because it wasn't really heavily documented. And guess who was on those teams? Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, they play. Didn't they play temporary home games here?
Yes.
In the summer? I do remember that.
Yeah, this was when they were moving. They were kind of moving around. I don't know if Nolan Ryan wasn't on that team.
No, Nolan Ryan. This was
gone.
after Nolan Ryan. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is way after Nolan Ryan. This is like early Pudge years.
Right. Early.
Well, it might not even been Pudge. Oh no, it would have been Pudge because if Alex Rodriguez was on the team, Pudge was like young.
Right.
Yes, I do remember that. Mhm.
Okay. So when they left, that hurt my soul because I was like, dog, we're getting like teams like maybe we'll get somebody, and then like
Maybe the Rangers are moving to Austin.
maybe the Rangers are moving to Austin. So you also got to think about it too. Like we had the Longhorns, we had the Rangers, the Cowboys in their heyday, in the years that they were winning, were also practicing football and they were doing their off-season workouts and stuff in Austin at Concordia University.
Yeah, because Concordia used to be right off of 35.
Right.
Concordia University used to be right before UT.
Right. So
yes,
this is, they still have some old buildings there, but for majority of the time, like they would come, the Dallas Cowboys would come. I remember seeing like Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin and stuff like that. So like this is all of this, and mind you, I lived at the time when I was a little boy, I stayed less than 10 minutes away from the stadium.
And it was a literal 10 minutes.
A literal 10 minutes.
There was nobody in Austin. Listen, if you were in Austin, like up until about even up until like 2015,
right?
Bro, there was almost never traffic in Austin.
Not the traffic not the type of
not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah,
there's even traffic in Buda.
Yeah.
I live in Kyle and there's traffic. Like nobody even knew Kyle was a city.
Dude, the only time I ever heard about Kyle was when it was bad weather and there would be tornadoes out there.
No. Do you know the only time you know how I remembered Kyle? You know when you drive to San Antonio, you have the white bridge.
Yeah,
that's how I knew we were in Kyle.
That's true.
Never did I think, you know what? One day I'm gonna live in this.
I'm gonna live there.
I'm like, who the hell lives here?
It was always a fly.
Here we are. It was always a sign.
That hurt my heart. So when the Rangers left, that hurt, man.
You betrayed them and you went all the way east. Hey man, we get you, bro.
Yeah, I did.
Listen, Captain Obvious, I waited my entire life for the Rangers to win a series. After coming so close, we finally got one. Hey, man, I feel you. I could finally put the heartbreak of 2011 and 2012 behind, or 2010, 2011.
To be fair, I was cheering for the Rangers that year.
I was in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant when the Rangers won the World Series, and
they had it wrapped up.
Yeah, there is this lady in front of me who like literally cried because she'd been a Rangers fan. Like she was older, she was probably in her 60s. She'd been a Rangers fan since she was like 20 or like a kid, right? So imagine waiting that long for them to win the World Series. I've only waited 35 years, right? Or not even 35 years, like 20, 25 years.
Right.
Because I wasn't really a Rangers fan until I met Pudge Rodriguez. And me and my cousin used to play MVP baseball. And I would always use the Rangers, and my favorite player was Pudge Rodriguez.
Right.
But anyway, shout out to the Rangers. Yeah, shout out to the Rangers.
I guess.
Thank you for getting it done. Now let's go back to back. All right. Since we talked about good times, bracket challenge. So right now it looks like there's a two-way tie for first place between Blade Payne, who this is the wrong bracket. Hold on, give me one little second. I was like, wait a minute, that name sounds way too familiar. Rakija Brown, currently in first place. Listen, I don't know who this person Rakija Brown is.
Rakija, looking good.
Shout out! Have you seen how good these picks are? This person has a 99.8% success rate. My gosh. Yeah. Got the entire Sweet 16 correct, minus one team. Wow. All right. I was not aware of your game. So shout out to Rakija, who's killing it right now.
Yeah, she is killing it.
Except Arizona lost, so But yeah, and Arizona lost. Well, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but they had Arizona over Baylor, in the Sweet 16, and then now Arizona's out. But then, of course, she has UConn. Tennessee is their champion, which I don't like that. That's okay. 98.
I mean, it's a bracket challenge, right? So percentages is everything, right? She still has a great opportunity to mess up and still win this thing.
What is your percentage, Tim?
My percentage currently is, let me pull that up. I'm sitting at, of course, if I win it, I'm not gonna give them money. I'm not gonna win it, but still.
Wow, you're at 91%.
You won 92.7, sir.
Do you know what I'm at? I'm at 17. 7. But did you know why I picked so many upsets?
Right.
And I also had Oregon in the championship. Listen, I go hard to go home, bro.
The Texas Tech pick messed me up really bad.
I knew that was
the Texas Tech pick messed me up. I had them beating NC State, and then for some reason, like NC State just went on a tear, and they're playing Marquette pretty soon, and that's going to be a really good matchup. Because we talked about NC State. We talked about NC State being a great defensive team. Yeah. We talked about them being able to shoot. We talked about them and how well they played against Clemson in North Carolina. We didn't talk about that. I don't know why I just completely overlooked that. But hey,
yeah, you overlooked NC State, and I completely overlooked Clemson. And they both might get into the Elite Eight. So hey, we can't win at everything.
Which would be crazy because we were like, yeah, I remember
we're like ACC sucks.
ACC down.
And they could have 4 teams in the Elite Eight. Christ. Oh my gosh. I love March Madness.
Yeah, man. That's what's great about it.
You know what's great? What if they did like a mid-season version of March Madness? That would be insane. And if you win the mid-season version of March Madness, you get an automatic. No, I wouldn't say number one. Yeah, maybe an automatic big or automatic guaranteed top 5 seed. You'd have to do something just to, and you do it like December.
What if you win the?
Or you do like a preseason tournament.
What if you win the mid-season tournament, but you crap the rest of the season?
Then the worst you can. Then then you're gonna get upset by 12 seed. But hey, it's a tournament. But it's a tournament at the end of the day, right? As long as you get in.
Look, Sanford almost gave Kansas the business.
They should have gave Kansas the business, except Kansas got bailed out. That's the reason why I have a 17% correct rate, because teams like Kansas get in because they get fouls at the end of games they don't deserve.
Stanford almost completely wiped the floor with them. And
I told you that. I told you, bro.
Dog, Sanford.
So I'm not irrational. See, I'm not irrational in my picks. They just didn't work out. Listen, I had Charleston beating Alabama. That almost. Well, actually, they got wiped. Oregon kind of they gassed out in double overtime.
Yeah.
And they just gassed. They just don't have enough scores.
Let's not sit up here in front. That South Carolina game wasn't easy either. I mean, they won by double digits, but at the same time, they were like. They were struggling at one point.
No, they had the game pretty much under control the whole game.
I mean, what I'm saying is that wasn't like. I guess what I'm saying is it wasn't as the score doesn't reflect what the game actually showed.
Sure, yeah, and then I never thought BYU would shit the bed the way they did.
I think a lot of people. I think I read a stat in one of how they spit out stats at ESPN, like they were talking about 89% of people had BYU win in the first game.
Bro, I had them in my Final Four because I thought they could shoot well enough to listen. BYU is one of those teams. They play good enough defense and they shoot the 3 well enough where they could shoot they could have shot themselves all the way to the Final Four.
And we saw it multiple times watching the Big 12 tournament and watching them play against Texas multiple times. And they shot phenomenally.
They can shoot
both games.
Like 75-80%, bro. They can shoot they can shoot really well. And then you have, Nevada, Dayton. That was a crazy game. Nevada being up 18, Dayton came all the way back. I had Nevada winning that game.
Listen, the Michigan State North Carolina game, that was probably one of the best games of the week. That first weekend, that first weekend, that fourth quarter, or the 4 minutes within that second half, chef's kiss. So good.
By the way, since we're live, update alert. North Carolina is on upset alert. They are down 4-2.
Excuse me?
I'm just kidding.
Down what?
4-2.
Oh, don't do that, dog. Don't
18 minutes to go in the first half. They are in trouble.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. That's our national champion.
I mean, I don't care at this point. I really got 17% correct.
Let me tell you something. Is this both of our brackets?
No, this is our individual bracket. But actually, our fan battle brackets had North Carolina too, didn't they?
Yeah.
That one is at. Oh, that's groups. Let me check on my bracket. My other brackets. That was actually doing pretty good. 65%. Oh yeah, we can't be messing around here. We got UConn right. We actually got Clemson right. No, we didn't. We got that's the New Mexico. That was the New Mexico love we had.
Is that the one where I flipped and I chose New Mexico and you chose Clemson?
No, that's when I chose New Mexico. You chose Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah, and stupid coin flip app.
Hey, look.
Killed it for us.
Flipacoin.com, baby.
Yo, flipacoin.com. Hey, flipacoin.com. If y'all need a sponsor, hit us up, bro.
Hit us up, man. We could do picks. We could do picks throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? We could do.
I can flip a coin every day.
We could do college football picks. I mean, we could do college baseball picks. College baseball is like they play at like 1, 2 o'clock.
I don't want to do anything with college football. With college baseball. I'm currently really upset with the baseball team.
The baseball team has been struggling.
They are not on my good side right now.
No. The pitching's been really bad. The fielding's been bad. You've been letting people just bomb you. I mean, it is.
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's it's not the hitting to me. It's the pitching.
The pitching has been atrocious. And
it's been garbage. It's been bad all year.
It's been really, really bad. I didn't expect for them to run into these type of issues this early in the year. They ran into this last year, but their bats got hot at the end of the year. And that is what really propelled us throughout the end of the year. Also, we did play some solid defense throughout the end of the year as well. So they
took 2 out of 3 last week to Baylor, so that's good. And then they lose this random game to A&M Corpus Christi 4-1. And now they're down 14-4. Now they're down 14-4 to Kansas in the first game of this weekend series.
I have no idea what that's all about. It's like, again,
it's just so weird. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. The good thing is, yeah, you're losing now, but you have an opportunity to correct it, right? It's early in the season. You've been around for about a month, right?
We've got about a month and a half left.
Right.
45 days to figure it out.
Get it right. Get tight. Get healthy. Make sure you guys stay healthy. Because that has been a thing in the years, years ago, not necessarily now, but years prior, there was an issue with pitchers not being healthy and stuff like that. Get healthy, and then let's see what you can do throughout the season. The Big 12 is not easy. It is not easy. You still got teams like Kansas out there. U of H, they're all right.
I don't know much about U of H, but they have Kansas State this weekend. Got BYU next weekend, and then Houston the weekend, a couple weekends after that. got a little midweek series to Texas State, who absolutely, I think they got dragged by. Oh, they lost to Texas State earlier this year, already 11-10, and then you get Houston in a couple. So
Right.
it's not getting any easier. But you also have great teams like TCU who started like 18-0 and won like 2 games in conference. So there's things like that. Big series next weekend, Texas softball versus Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So they get Oklahoma State this weekend, right? You need to take care of business. Texas is 8-1 and in conference play, just that random loss to Houston at 12-10 a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And then they've been playing well as of recent, right? So they get Oklahoma State this weekend and then Oklahoma next weekend. That's going to be a series to definitely watch out for. That's time television.
I thought that was current. I thought currently Texas had I remember seeing something. I could be wrong. But if I'm not mistaken, I thought Texas was playing Kansas State coming up.
Texas baseball is playing Kansas State.
Right.
Softball is playing Oklahoma State.
Okay. Yeah, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Listen, those guys in the softball world,
they know how to play, man.
They are tough.
So, this is gonna be a tough weekend this weekend, a tough weekend next weekend. We're gonna learn a lot about this Texas softball team these next couple weeks. And if you can come out and win both of these series, they'll probably be the number 1 team again. And then nobody will remember the random blimp against.
Currently Kansas State is ranked, so that would boost you up really good. I mean, you got a record of 15-10 right now. Got to really be able to turn those things around, man. So yeah.
But anyway, that's Texas on the diamond. That's about all we know. If you need to know more, go follow Nash Talk Sports. He's your expert when it comes to Texas baseball. I just stat read when it comes to baseball because I don't get it.
It is very hard to watch. I don't know how I feel about watching 3 games of the same team playing against each other. That's very very hard to watch. But if I catch a game, I will watch it. That's the thing. But I've never sat down and was like, I'm gonna watch Texas play against Kansas State all 3 days in a row.
Today, tomorrow, and Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I feel you.
Unless it's the College World Series, I've never dove that far in the.
I mean, even the majors. I mean, obviously, it makes it easier if your team is good.
Right.
But
Or if
your team's not doing well, it makes it that much harder.
If there's a rivalry, I will sit down and watch. But even 3 games, playing Oklahoma 3 games, you know how much emotional that's got to be draining. As a baseball fan, as a baseball player, that's got to be draining.
Probably. But I think it actually, as a player, it probably helps out, right? Because you this weekend, you don't have to focus on anything else but this team.
Right.
So I can get it. I kind of like the series thing. I just think it's too many games.
It's a lot.
Honestly.
It's a lot.
The softball team's played 31 games already.
Yeah.
And there's still a whole month left.
But they look good, though.
They do. And there's still a whole month left. So by the time the season's over, they probably play somewhere close to 50 to 60 games.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they play like 3 times a week, though. Sometimes more. Sometimes they'll play a series and then have 1 game and then go into another series. It's wild. Yep. Anyway, let's talk about this other heartbreaker, man. Let's just get it over with.
We've been stalling this whole time, 35 minutes. Texas loses the heartbreaker 62-58 to Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers. Shout out to the Volin' Out podcast.
Yes.
Who had us on their show last Friday to preview the game. Go check those guys out. Volin' Out podcast. We really appreciate them having us on their show. So shout out to those guys. And that episode is already up on their YouTube. We shared it out, so go check out that episode. It doesn't matter. We talked about some other stuff besides this game, so definitely go check out the episode. But what are your thoughts on this game, Tim? We were fortunate enough to watch this game together. So what were your thoughts on this game?
Man, I was not surprised. I did get my hopes up when there were, there was a pivotal time where Texas could have really, really taken advantage of, just of the mistakes that Tennessee was making. We talked about it, Tennessee going on a run, a dry spell. We talked about Texas going on dry spells. And there were some significant calls that you mentioned that, I didn't even think about, with the Cade Cunningham foul and giving up 5 points, and that being initially the difference in the game is the 5 points. When you come back and you think about stuff like that, it's like, man, that's kind of a shot in the foot. The amount of turnovers,
my God,
the amount of turnovers in that game was ridiculous. Yeah, like, as much as they should be proud of themselves, they should really, really, really be ashamed, because there were just crucial things that they could have done. Just like being more efficient when you're passing the ball in the end zone, in the inbound. Quit trying to float a ball over somebody every time, because what Tennessee ended up doing is they ended up picking up on those tendencies and started scoring off of them. And when you do that and you become predictable, and another team like Tennessee who can put the ball in the hole, they start doing that you're shooting yourself in the foot. And that's cliche. Anybody can say, but literally from the first half of this game to the second half, they literally had moments where they could have taken over that game. They played great defense for the majority of the game. But in the long run, they ended up shooting themselves in the foot by not being fundamentally sound. Is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, neither team played great.
No,
I mean, I don't think Tennessee was just like leaps and bounds better than Texas, because they were terrible. Honestly, beyond not turning the ball over, Tennessee shot like 12% from three.
Yeah, they shot really, really bad.
They made 3 3-pointers the entire game.
Right, but they made them in crucial spots.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the defense against Dalton Connect was fantastic. He was 5 for 18 points. Eight of his 18 points came from the free throw line, which some of that was, and ones and late in the game.
Yeah,
the defense. I thought the defense was phenomenal, but my God, I need to be careful with how I say this. If I never have to watch Tyrese Hunter throw the ball in again, I will be okay.
Oh my God,
Tyrese Hunter, Texas had 17 turnovers for the game. Tyrese Hunter had 6 of them. Yeah, he accounted for almost 50% of the turnovers.
He was
not good. He shot the ball well, but in a way he kind of kept Texas in the game offensively. Like he kept Texas in the game, but he also didn't keep Texas in the game as much as he kept them in the game.
It was a real interesting dynamic to see him hit these. He hit a 3-pointer in the second half.
Yeah.
It looked good. I was like, oh, did he wake up? But then turns the ball over.
Dylan Disu and Max
the ball over off of a Tennessee turnover. It was rough. It was a rough game.
Tennessee. So we turned the ball over 12 times. That accounted for 15 Tennessee points.
Oh,
we should have won this game by double digits, honestly.
Yeah.
And the two guys that we needed to play well did not play well at all. Max Aidsmith and Dylan Disu combined 7 for 28.
Listen, I'm standing on this hill. I think both of them need to come back. If they can come back, they should.
I don't think either of them comes back, to be honest. I think they take their chances. I don't think Max Aidsmith has any more eligibility left.
Oh, he's done.
And Dylan Disu might be close by. I don't think either of them have any eligibility left. Because Aidsmith was a grad transfer,
right?
And we don't have that stupid COVID rule anymore where you can come back.
The COVID rule's gone. So
yeah,
man,
So I don't really think they have it. They have an option.
If we could have either one, I would rather take Dylan because I feel like there's still a lot of things that Dylan can do. Dylan is not consistent. This whole season has been based on consistency, and Dylan he's had moments. He's looked great from three. When you started pointing that stuff out, I was like, dang, he can't really hit threes. I never paid attention to it because he's either, you know who he reminds me of? And this may upset a lot of Longhorn fans. Listen, guys, I'm only being fair. He reminds me of Anthony Davis. If you
I can kind of see that. Yeah,
you keep him on the floor, he can be great offensively. Once you get him going, he can be great defensively. One thing he always does is he's going to give you an injury scare, and his availability is not the greatest.
Shout out to JD. What's up, Jonathan?
What up?
Dylan Dessou. My problem but Dylan Dessou also didn't play for like half the season.
I know.
That's and he shot 45% from three this year.
Right. This is what makes me he should come back. You know, he had the injury earlier in the year.
He's played 5 years, so he doesn't have any more eligibility, so he can't come back even if he wanted to. And then Max Aidsmith,
he's gone too, right?
Is gone too. Listen, I think the future of this team is really bright. He's also played 5 years. I think the future of this team is really bright. Kendall Weaver is going to be a dog for this team. I love Kendall Weaver. The dude, if Kendall Weaver can develop half of a shot, he's going to be a stud.
If Kendall Weaver can slow down, I would really appreciate it. That's my only thing about Kendall. Everything he does is fast. Slow down.
Well, he's the high energy guy. But Kendall Weaver rarely holds. Kendall Weaver offensively is trying to get to the basket. He's trying to attack the basket. He only does this in the half court. He's not the guy that handles the ball, right? But he's the guy that if you're not getting anything, he's the guy that's going to try to get you something so you can get going. Like that's just the type of player he is.
I understand that and I respect it. However, it's just like, again, not playing under control has been somewhat of an issue with this team, right? Again, you go in, you don't play under control and you don't shoot well, but you played great defense. Like I was telling you on Saturday, I was like, this has got to be the most well-conditioned team in the nation because they can
roll.
They can constantly moving and they can run. And I'm just like, man, like if only we could get this with a little bit of scoring, maybe they slow it down. Maybe, I mean, if you can get the ball out and you can move on and get a couple fast breaks, I'm okay with that. But every possession of a game this year that I've watched feels like the last possession of a game in general. I hate it.
That's fair.
Again, congrats to them for getting how far that they got. Again,
I'm actually surprised they got this far.
The injury bug was crazy this year for the Longhorns. Again, Dylan Dessou, being injured for half the season. I felt like he was, maybe if he didn't get injured, he'd, have a little bit more form, maybe be more comfortable in the system. Yeah. I still don't know about Rodney Terry. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not feeling it. I don't know how I feel about another year of Rodney Terry, but I mean, we'll see.
CDC is not a guy that's just gonna up and at him though. So we're gonna get him for at least another year. He needs to get a true point guard. This team desperately needs a true point guard.
Absolutely.
Probably Caden Cedric's going to come back. He's another guy that just hadn't been able to. I actually, towards the end of the year, really like Caden Cedric. He just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah,
I think he can be a real good piece. I think Tyrese Hunter is going to end up transferring. It just hasn't worked out for him here.
Yeah,
and that's okay. That's fine. Yeah. There's some guys on the there's some freshmen on the bench here that might be able to make a. We need some guys that can shoot. Devin Pryor, he's a forward, 6'7" forward. You've got Preston Clark, who's a guy that can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
you need a guy, whether that's Chris Johnson. I believe Trey Johnson's coming into this recruiting class. But you need to find your true point guard in this class, and I don't know who that is, but you've got to find him, and you've got to find him pretty
quick. Yeah, pretty quick.
So I think right now, Trey Johnson, 5-star, but he's a shooting guard, right? So Texas so far has 3 guys that are committed. They've got a 5-star guy from Missouri, Trey Johnson. This guy's gonna be another stud. Does he play a point guard? I don't know, but that's gonna be another one of those guys that's really good. And now we don't have to worry about if these guys are coming in or not, because the G League Ignite doesn't exist anymore. So they are coming. Right. I don't think there's anywhere unless they go overseas. Right. Cam Scott out of Lexington, South Carolina. So that's a 4-star guy coming in, and then Nicholas Cody out of Carrollton. So there's still some guys that they have some offers out to that I really hope they can get in here. They had 3 offers out to point guards, but they all committed elsewhere. David Castillo, he's from, but this is another thing. I'm looking at this offer list. There's not a lot of guys from Texas offered in here. Like, that's another thing. Another pro. Like, there's ballers in Texas.
They're going elsewhere. They're going to Baylor's. They're going to U of H. They're going.
Trey Johnson from Missouri. Yeah, they're going elsewhere.
Yeah, you got to win the state. You got to win the state.
They do get the guy from Carrollton, which is nice, Nicholas Cody from Newman Smith. And then, they miss out on Josiah Mosley at a round at a Stony Point. He goes to Villanova. Dude, Villanova's a freaking Philadelphia. Villanova was they won 4 games this year. They were terrible. And then Robert Miller out of Pasadena, Texas goes to LSU. And then Qualitat out of Holton goes to Oklahoma. But he's a 3-star guy. But Josiah Mosley in your own backyard. Listen, Josiah Mosley is 30 minutes from campus, and he goes to Philadelphia. That's the kind of stuff we were talking about last week.
Oh man, that hurts.
You can't miss out on guys like that.
That hurts.
You can't. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see. He's got to do some work in the transfer portal. He needs to get this team a point. He needs to get this team a point guard, and if he can't do that, this team might be probably the same, if not worse.
Problematic. They're gonna run, and they're gonna run into more of an issue because the competition is gonna get tougher.
Yeah, the SEC is not a bad conference in basketball.
No,
they have not played well in the tournament. Don't let that fool you. But it's not like Texas is this basketball juggernaut, right? So they are probably going to fall middle of the pack in the SEC when it comes to basketball. Because they were middle of the pack in a very good Big 12. They might actually break.
Before we move on, before we move to the ladies, do you think Texas keeps their rivalry with Kansas alive?
No, not immediately anyway. I think it'll be a few years. Okay. The Big 12 wants nothing to do with Texas when they're gone. There's a lot of bad blood.
That's true.
So no, I don't believe so at all. All right, Tim. So let's talk about winners. So Texas women are in the Sweet 16 tomorrow, 9 p.m. I'm just wait. What's so funny?
It was so good. All right, yeah.
Listen, but they aren't they winning?
They are, and they look good. They look dominant. They look dominant. They look really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing just how far this Texas team's going. I mean, if you look at some of these other teams, of course, you got the Caitlin Clarks of the world, you got the Jujus of the world. LSU looks great. But I
don't think LSU looks that good. I think they just escaped. They had that very good. They had that very good third quarter against Middle Tennessee State. But for the majority part of this tournament, they've just looked okay to me. A better team is going to expose LSU.
You were getting right to where I was going to say. Outside of that, who's to say Texas can't get to the Final Four? Because a lot of these teams, like Iowa. Did they play a great game? Yeah, but they were in a dogfight for a little while. They were in a dogfight. LSU, same thing. Till that third quarter, it was kind of a wrap. I would say the most intriguing team is probably South Carolina because it's South Carolina. They looked dominant, but other than that, I think this Lady Longhorn team, as well as they play defense, can really get to a Final Four.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see South Carolina versus Texas. I think that's going to be an awesome. And listen, I think it will be South Carolina versus Texas in the Final Four, in that national semifinal game. I think Iowa loses this weekend.
Okay, and listen, that's fair. Do you know who Iowa's got a tough road?
Oh, they've got a brutal road.
They've got it brutal.
Yeah, I had LSU losing this weekend, I believe.
Oh.
Again, it's just that region is so darn crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon State. I don't even think I had Oregon State. Oh, I had A&M beating Oregon State. That was my bad. But LSU, UCLA. I think UCLA is better than LSU. Again, they struggled in Middle Tennessee State for basically 3.5 quarters.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The only reason why they won by 20 is because they had a 7-minute stretch where they just balled out in that third quarter.
Yeah.
And it was just too much, right? Middle Tennessee started panicking. They started missing shots, and we know how the rest goes. Stanford, Tennessee, and that Elite Eight is going to be a crazy matchup. That's going to be fun to watch. USC and UConn in that potentially in that Elite Eight is going to be a fun matchup to watch. Listen, this weekend is going to be fun for the ladies. So if there's a great time to watch women's basketball, it's this weekend. Every game this weekend is going to be crazy.
So, quick question, quick thing. Let me just rattle off my bracket right quick. My percentage. Yep. It's 99.7.
Okay, mine's not that. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, nobody needs to know what mine is because it's trash.
Anyway, to kind of piggyback off what Harish was saying, yes, this is a great weekend to watch. Watch women's basketball. Texas plays Gonzaga again. They play at 9 p.m. Let me get the date. Let me make sure that I got the date right.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah, they play tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And they play in Oregon, so they're going to be probably one of the later games, one of the last games being played. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I know how good Gonzaga is. Historically, Gonzaga as a basketball program on men's and women's have been pretty good. At times where they were dominant. I can't say that I've seen this Gonzaga team play this year. They are 32-3, so they're no slouches.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're no slouches. They're no slouches.
They are not, and they've dominated the first 2 games.
And they went undefeated in their division, in their conference. So again, I think Texas, with the defense that they do play, I think they have an opportunity to really, really, win. I don't know how. I'm not going to sit up here and say they're going to win big over Gonzaga. Gonzaga looks really tough, and again, unlike the men's college basketball, you have teams that have been established and been around for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. So these guys are, they've played together. They're battle tested. It's kind of like a football team. You may have a couple of guys come in, from other schools, come in, plug some holes, maybe fill in some positions on the bench. And with those type of teams, they're really, really hard to beat, especially in tournament modes where games slow down, right? You see more of bigs being utilized. Point guard play is always crucial in these types of situations. So, again, best of luck to the Lady Longhorns. I'm hoping that they win this out. I really would like to see them go up against South Carolina. Yeah,
I'm very excited. And like you said, and you know what? I just took the look. We're playing in Portland, Oregon. Advantage Gonzaga. They're in Washington.
They're not far. They're a state over.
Yeah, they're probably less than 5-6 hours away because only in Texas does it take forever to get from one part of the state to the other.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. 9 p.m. tomorrow. I think they're on ESPN. I'm looking here at the schedule, but I'm looking at the schedule. But yeah, I mean, there's some very, very, very good matchups this weekend. Yeah. I will be tuned into probably all of these games. That's to some degree. Yeah. It starts off at the ladies start at 1:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great. That's really
which is
good.
Awesome. That means you can flow into the men's games, right? You get like a 3-hour break between the third ladies game and the last ladies game, so you can watch the men's games in between because they start at 6.
Right.
So yeah, you start off with Oregon State, Notre Dame tomorrow, 1:30. I was about to say 1:30 o'clock. You get Indiana, South Carolina at 4. North Carolina State, Stanford at 6:30. And Texas Gonzaga at 9. This is all Central Standard Time. And then you get early games. That Iowa Colorado game, my eyes going to be 10 toes to the ground watching that game. That's going to be a very interesting. This is where that's who I have Iowa losing to. So very interested. I think they get exposed defensively because they're not a very good defensive team.
Right.
But anyway, what do you think, Tim? Do you think Texas takes care of business this weekend?
I think Texas takes care of business. I was just kind of looking at some stuff. Gonzaga is really good defensively as well. So I can see this being a low-scoring game. I'm going to throw something out there. I'm going to say Texas wins 50. No, I'll say Texas wins 60 to 57. I'm going to go
60 to 57.
I'm gonna say something close, only because I'm looking at I'm looking at Gonzaga's last couple of games, and Jesus Christ, they don't look bad at all.
So Gonzaga, let's see what their notable wins have been. Okay, so they beat Utah. Utah's pretty good.
Yeah,
they beat UCI. Yeah. UCI is not very good. They lost to Portland 67-66. That seemed weird because they beat Portland 90-40. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something real quick, Tim. You might be high on this Gonzaga team. I think Texas is gonna blow them out.
You think so?
I think it's gonna be like a 10+ point game.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't buy this schedule. I don't buy this schedule. Look, listen. They beat a team called Pacific 104-39.
I mean,
they're gonna get blown out.
That's true.
They're gonna get blown out. Well, Texas wins this game pretty easily. Now that next game versus Stanford might be a little challenge. I think Texas wins this game pretty easily.
Right. Stanford's great. I love watching Stanford play.
Stanford's gonna be a test, right? And if they win that game, that'll be the Elite Eight game. Then yeah, definitely earn their spot to the Final Four. But I Madison Booker is just playing on a different level right now.
Right.
I tweeted this out last week. I cannot wait until Rory Harmon comes back next year. This team next year, I think, is going to win the national title.
They're gonna be tough.
They're gonna be tough. Rory was. I'm so excited with Rory Harmon.
Can you imagine the home Texas versus South Carolina? It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be.
You know what?
Oh, that's right. They are in the SEC.
We should go to that game, dog.
Here in South Carolina. You want to go to South Carolina?
No, even though the Carolinas are beautiful states.
I've never been to South Carolina. What's in South Carolina? Clemson. Oh, there's a city there that's like pretty crazy.
Clemson's in South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach. Isn't that where Myrtle Beach is?
Yes.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
Let's go to South Carolina.
North Carolina is also a beautiful state. Don't knock them there.
We should go to South Carolina next year and watch Texas versus South Carolina if they have a home at home.
Yo, that'd be kind of nuts, dog.
Yep. All righty, Tim. I know we want to talk about spring ball, but we'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
There's some guys that are sticking out that I really want to talk about. But we'll talk about that next week. We're trying to keep these down to 45 minutes to an hour, so we don't just keep waffling off for years, because I have the tendency to do that because I like to talk a lot. But hey, before we get out of here tonight, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Tim Wayne on Twitter. On the Twitters, let's chat it up. Tell me what you think about your team. What about, is your team still in the championship or in the tournament? How's your bracket looking? Oh, please send us screenshots of your bracket. And again, guys, make sure you continue to follow us. Let us know. We'll keep you posted on how the brackets are looking throughout the weekend. Usually I like to give it a good full 2 days, after every game's been played. That following day, get that update. That way everything updates perfectly fine. We don't have to worry about anybody updating or any updates in between them. I like to let all the games play, and then we'll give you an update. But make sure you guys continue to follow and subscribe. Make sure you guys tune into the YouTube channel so that whenever we do, make an announcement for a win, you could be a lucky winner. You got some stiff competition because it's looking real tight up there at the top. You got people tied in 4th place.
Down here at the bottom, we chilling.
We're
started at the bottom, we're still there. Started at the bottom, we're still there.
Where can they find you, my man?
Hey man, you can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi. You can also find both of us. You can tell who's who on Twitter.
Yes.
LH Fan Battle. I like to start the stuff. Tim likes to be engagement focused in different ways. He like a lot of the polls, a lot of the running back RBU tweets, all the videos, all that kind of content. That's all Tim. If somebody sounds like they're crazy, that's me. But hey, that's us for tonight. Thanks for you guys for tuning. What's up?
One more thing. If you guys are in the city and if you have not checked out the Texas Relays ever before, please go down there, check out the Texas Relays. It's one of the largest track meets in the nation outside of the Penn Relays. Give it an opportunity. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. If you're a track and field lover, please go down there and check it out. That's all I got.
Also, be careful. Texas Relay Weekend can get crazy.
Yeah, a lot of college. Very wild. A lot of college kids. But if you don't have anything to do and you're in the Austin area this weekend, I definitely recommend checking it out.
Definitely go check it out. If you're down there, stay safe. My name's Harish. That's my boy Tim. Yeah. Peace.
Till Gabriel.